What up guys, welcome to an EDMtuts.com tutorial. Today we're going to learn how to make this Chodegang bass. Alright, so let's go ahead and open up the patch. Cool, so let's go over a quick rundown of the patch itself. It's a pretty simple patch, and most of the sound comes from using the sample and hold filter in Serum. So firstly, you're going to want to use the Chrome wavetable, and we're going to FM that by an analog sine, and we're going to pitch the sine up by 1 octave and modulate the sync. Okay, so a lot of the yoy sound comes from modulating the sync. If I turn the sync down, then it gets too muffled, too distorted, and there's not any vowel movement. And if I go too far up, then again it gets too distorted. But you got to kind of find the sweet spot, and you also can kind of control how high pitched it is. Obviously, if you go too high or low, you're just going to destroy the sound, but if you stay within a certain range, then you can kind of make it talk a little bit more and add a little more movement. Just like that. And then I'm using a high notch filter just to add some more vowel to the sound as well. So it gives it its overall movement. And then we have a hyper and dimension, a little bit of distortion. And I'm EQing out some of the mids. Some of the upper mids, they just get a little too harsh in the sound, so I'm EQing those out a little bit. And then most of the yoy comes from the sample and hold. And last thing, I just added some OTT compression. Just kind of brings the sound to the front of the mix and kind of levels out all of the bands. Alright, so let's go ahead and try to remake something similar. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate and initialize the preset. Alright, so what you want to do first is just get kind of a very basic growl sound. Use a different wavetable for this one. Let's use Scrapyard. And we're going to FM it by a sine wave. Put on a high notch filter. Put on some hyper and dimension. A little bit of distortion. And add the sample and hold. Alright, so we got a pretty similar sound, lots of vowel characteristics, and kind of the same general yoy. And from here, what we could do is we could maybe add some macros to the cutoff. That way we can change the pitch of the sample and hold filter. And that way we could modulate that, and if we were playing some repeated notes, we could get some more organic movement in the sound. And we could do the same thing to sync. Add one going up and one going down. And there you have it. There's a basic rundown of how you make these types of sounds. Just remember, you don't want any wavetable that has too many harmonics, because you're going to be adding a lot with the sample and hold filter. So if you have a wavetable that's too crunchy, or you're FMing your wavetable too much, it's going to destroy the sound. So you need to be pretty cautious when you're making this specific type of sound. And lastly, remember, you want the sample and hold cutoff to be somewhere around 800 to 900 hertz, somewhere around there. Alright, so that's about it. I hope you learned something. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment any suggestions. I can do sound design recreations, drum processing, mixing and mastering, really anything. And if you have any feedback, post that in the comments as well. Alright, thanks. Alright, so one last thing. This sound is a sound from our new Serum pack, Quarantine for Serum. I'm going to go ahead and play a little bit of a demo from the track, and you can check it out on our website, edmtuts.com, and I'll put the buy link in the description. You can buy it on the website or on Sellfy.